The summons. In the vast emptiness of space, a big round spaceship floated. This was the home of the Galactic Council, where aliens from all over the galaxy met. Inside, the main room was full of different creatures. Some had 3 eyes, others had tentacles, and a few even glowed in the dark. At the center of this room stood Zork, the boss of the Galactic Council. He looked like a tall blue tree with eyes. Zork was old and wise, having seen many planets join the council. But today was different. Today, he felt worried. "Friends," Zork said in a deep voice, "we have found something new." He waved his branch-like arm, and a big screen appeared in the air. It showed a blue and green planet. "This is Earth," Zork continued. "We found it last week. But look closer." The screen zoomed in. Everyone in the room gasped. They saw big cities, flying cars, and huge rockets launching into space. A small red alien named Blorp spoke up. "But how? We check this part of space every 100 years. Last time, these humans were still fighting with metal sticks." Zork nodded. "Yes, they grew very fast. Too fast." He showed more pictures. Humans building space stations, humans making robots, humans with guns that could shoot lasers. The room got very quiet. Then everyone started talking at once. They were scared. Humans looked dangerous. "Quiet," Zork shouted. The room went silent again. "We need to talk to these humans. We need to know if they are friends or enemies." A long alien that looked like a noodle raised its hand. "But what if they attack us?" Zork smiled. "That's why we'll send our best team. A team that can show humans how strong and smart we are. A team that can make humans want to join us." He pressed a button, and 5 names appeared on the screen. "These 5 will go to Earth. They will invite humans to join our Galactic Council." The first name was Zira. She was a small winged alien who could read minds. Next was Grok, a big rock-like alien who was very strong. Third was Sken, who looked like a big brain with tiny arms and legs. Sen was the smartest in the group. Fourth was Lumi, a creature made of light who could change colors. Last was Krog, a shapeshifter who could look like anyone or anything. Zork looked at the 5 aliens. "You are the best we have. Go to Earth. Show them our power. Make them join us." The team felt proud. They thought this would be easy. Humans were new to space. Surely, they would be happy to join the Galactic Council. How wrong they were. The team got ready to leave. They packed their best clothes, their strongest weapons, and their fanciest gadgets. They wanted to impress the humans. Their spaceship was amazing. It was shaped like a star and could travel faster than light. It had rooms that could change shape and size. It even had a machine that could make any food they wanted. As they got on the ship, other aliens came to say goodbye. Some gave them gifts. Others wished them luck. A few looked worried and told them to be careful. Zira, the mind reader, felt excited. "I can't wait to see what humans think," she said, her wings fluttering. Grok, the strong one, flexed his rocky muscles. "If they try anything funny, I'll show them who's boss," he growled. Sen's big brain pulsed with thoughts. "Fascinating. I have so many questions for them," he said in a high, squeaky voice. Lumi glowed bright yellow with happiness. "I bet they'll love our light shows," she said, changing colors rapidly. Krog didn't say anything. He was too busy practicing how to look like a human. As the ship's doors closed, Zork gave them one last message. "Remember," he said, "humans are new to the galaxy. They might be scared or confused. Be kind, be strong, and be careful." The team nodded. They felt ready for anything. The ship's engine started with a loud hum. Slowly, it lifted off the ground. Then, in a flash of light, it was gone, zooming towards Earth at super speed. Back in the council room, Zork looked at the screen showing Earth. He felt strange, like something big was about to happen. "Good luck," he whispered to the empty room. I think you're going to need it." As the ship raced through space, the team talked about what they might find on Earth. They looked at pictures of humans, practiced saying hello in different Earth languages, and tried to guess what human food might taste like. But deep down, they all felt a little nervous. Humans had grown so fast. What if they weren't friendly? If they didn't want to join the council? What if they were hiding even more powerful weapons? The team tried to push these thoughts away. They were the best the Galactic Council had. Surely they could handle a bunch of newly spacefaring humans. Right. As Earth got closer and closer on their screens, the team prepared for landing. They put on their best outfits and checked their translator devices one last time. They were ready, or so they thought. Little did they know, Earth had a few surprises waiting for them. Big surprises, the kind of surprises that would change the galaxy forever. The shiny star-shaped ship slowed down as it entered Earth's solar system. The team looked out the windows, eyes wide with wonder. They saw the red planet Mars, with human bases already built on its surface. They passed Jupiter, where huge human ships were mining gas from the giant planet. They've spread through their whole system already. Sen said, his big brain pulsing faster with worry. Stay calm, Zira said, trying to sound brave. Remember what Zork said. We're here to make friends. As they got closer to Earth, they saw even more amazing things. A giant ring around the planet, with thousands of ships going in and out. Space stations that looked like small moons. And strangest of all, a huge net of shiny threads surrounding the whole planet. What's that? Grok asked, pointing at the net. I don't know, Sen said, sounding scared for the first time. But it looks like some kind of defense system. A really, really big one. Suddenly, their ship's computer beeped. A message appeared on the screen. It was from Earth. Welcome, visitors, the message said. We've been expecting you. Please follow the lighted path to your landing spot. And don't worry, we come in peace. The team looked at each other. How did humans know they were coming? Why weren't they surprised to see aliens? And why did that last line sound more like a warning than a welcome? As their ship followed the lighted path towards Earth, the team felt less and less sure of themselves. They had come to show humans how amazing the Galactic Council was. But now, they were starting to wonder if maybe, just maybe, they were the ones who were going to be amazed. The ship entered Earth's atmosphere, following the glowing trail. As they broke through the clouds, they saw their landing spot. It was a huge field, bigger than any they had seen before, and it was full of humans. Thousands and thousands of humans, all looking up at their ship. Oh boy, Krog said, finally speaking. I think we might be in trouble. The ship landed softly on the grass. The team took a deep breath. It was time to meet the humans. Time to invite them to join the Galactic Council. Time to show them how things worked in space. But as the ship's doors opened, letting in the bright Earth sunlight, the team had a feeling that things might not go as planned. Not at all. First contact. The alien ship's door opened slowly. Bright sunlight flooded in, making the 5 aliens blink their eyes. They stood at the entrance, trying to look brave. But inside, they all felt scared. Zira, the small winged alien, whispered, so many humans. I can feel their thoughts. They're excited. Grok, the big rock-like alien, flexed his muscles. Stay behind me, he rumbled. I'll protect us. But as they stepped out onto the soft green grass, something strange happened. The huge crowd of humans started to cheer. It wasn't an angry sound. It was happy, like at a big party. Sen, the alien with the big brain, looked confused. This isn't the welcome I expected, he said. Suddenly, a flying car zoomed down from the sky. It was shiny and sleek, nothing like the aliens had ever seen. The car landed softly in front of them, and a tall human stepped out. She had dark skin, curly hair, and a big smile. She wore a bright blue suit that seemed to glow. Welcome to Earth, she said in a friendly voice. "I'm Sarah, the leader of the United Earth government." The aliens looked at each other, surprised. How did this human speak their language? Sarah laughed, seeing their confused faces. "Oh, don't worry about the language. Our universal translators take care of that. We've been listening to your space chatter for years." Krog, the shapeshifter, whispered to the others. "Years? But we only found them last week." Sarah pretended not to hear. She waved her hand, and suddenly, the big field changed. Huge buildings grew out of the ground. Flying cars filled the sky. Robots of all shapes and sizes appeared, walking among the humans. The alien team gasped. Lumi, the light creature, glowed bright yellow with surprise. How did you do that?" she asked. Sarah's smile got even bigger. "Oh, just a little hologram technology. Nothing special. Now let me show you around our little planet." As they walked, Sarah pointed out amazing things. Humans wore suits that let them fly. Some humans had robot arms or legs. Others seemed to disappear and reappear in different places. Sen's big brain was working hard. But this is impossible," he said. "You were primitive just 100 years ago." Sarah nodded. "Oh yes, we were. But then we found something special. Something that changed everything." She winked. "But that's a story for another time. Tell me, what brings you to our humble Earth?" Zira stepped forward. She tried to sound confident. "We're here from the Galactic Council. We want to invite you to join us, to be part of the galactic community." For a moment, Sarah's smile faded. She looked sad, worried, but then the big smile was back. "How wonderful," she said. "We'd love to hear more. But first, let's get you some Earth food. You must be hungry after your long trip." They walked into a big building. Inside, it looked like a forest, but with tables and chairs growing out of the ground. Fruits of all colors hung from the trees. Some looked normal. Others glowed or floated in the air. "Please, sit," Sarah said. "Try anything you like. It's all safe for your species. We checked." The aliens sat down carefully. They were still amazed by everything they saw. Grok reached out and grabbed a big purple fruit. He took a bite, and his rocky face broke into a smile. "Delicious," he said. As they ate, Sarah asked them questions about space, about their planets, about the Galactic Council. She seemed very interested in everything they said. But Zira noticed something strange. Every time they asked Sarah a question about Earth, she would smile and change the subject. It was like she was hiding something. Suddenly, a loud boom shook the building. The aliens jumped up, scared. But Sarah just laughed. "Oh, don't worry," she said. "That's just our daily test of the planetary shield. You know, in case of asteroids." Sen's eyes got wide. "Planetary shield. You can protect your whole planet." Sarah nodded. "Of course, can't your planets do that?" The aliens shook their heads, too shocked to speak. After they finished eating, Sarah took them on a tour. They saw cities that floated in the sky. They watched humans turn into animals, and back again. They even visited a moon base, getting there in just a few minutes through something Sarah called a wormhole tunnel. Everything they saw was amazing. Impossible. Far beyond what even the oldest races in the Galactic Council could do. As the day ended, Sarah brought them to a big meeting room. It had a huge window showing Earth, beautiful and blue, below them. "Now," Sarah said, her voice serious for the first time, "let's talk about your invitation." The aliens sat down, feeling very small and not very important anymore. They had come to show humans how amazing space was. But now, they felt like they were the primitive ones. Zira cleared her throat. Yes. We would be honored if Earth would join the Galactic Council. We can offer you protection, trade deals, and—" Sarah held up her hand, stopping Zira mid-sentence. Her smile was gone. She looked almost sorry. "That's very kind of you," she said. But I'm afraid we have to say no." The aliens were shocked. No one had ever said no to joining the council before. But why?" Grok asked. "Don't you want to be part of the galactic community?" Sarah sighed. She looked out the window at Earth. "It's not that simple," she said. "You see, we've known about the galaxy for a long time. We've been watching, learning, and we've seen things that concern us." The room got very quiet. The aliens felt scared, but they didn't know why. Sarah turned back to them, her eyes serious. "I'm sorry," she said, "but for your own safety, I have to give you a warning." Sen gulped. "A warning?" Sarah nodded. She took a deep breath, then said 3 words that would change the galaxy forever. "You should run." The aliens looked at each other, confused and scared. What did she mean, run? Run from what? And why did the most advanced race they'd ever seen look so worried? As the sun set on their first day on Earth, the alien team realized that their simple mission had turned into something much bigger. And much, much scarier. The warning. The room was quiet. So quiet you could hear a pin drop. The 5 aliens from the Galactic Council sat frozen in their chairs. They stared at Sarah, the human leader, with wide eyes and open mouths. Zira, the small winged alien, found her voice first. "Run," she squeaked. "Run from what?" Sarah sighed. She walked to the big window and looked out at Earth below. The blue planet spun slowly, peaceful and beautiful. But something in Sarah's eyes said it wasn't as peaceful as it looked. "From us," Sarah said softly. "You should run from us." Grok, the big rock alien, stood up. His chair fell over with a loud crash. "Is that a threat?" he growled, his rocky fists clenched. Sarah turned back to them. She didn't look scared of Grok. She looked sad. "No," she said. "It's a warning. A friendly warning." Sen's big brain was working overtime. But why?" he asked. "You've shown us amazing things. Your technology is beyond anything we've seen. Why would you warn us away?" Sarah walked back to the table. She pressed a button, and a 3D map of the galaxy appeared in the air. "Let me tell you a story," she said. "A story about humanity." The map zoomed in on Earth. It showed cavemen, fighting with sticks and stones. 1,000 years ago, we were primitive, Sarah said. We fought each other over land, over food, over silly things. The map changed. It showed humans building cities, machines, airplanes. We grew fast, Sarah continued. Faster than any race you've seen, right? The aliens nodded. They had never seen a race go from caves to spaceships so quickly. "But our growth came at a cost," Sarah said. The map showed wars, big explosions, cities burning. We fought bigger wars. We nearly destroyed ourselves many times. Lumi, the light alien, glowed a soft blue. She felt sad seeing all the fighting. But then, Sarah said, something amazing happened. The map changed again. It showed a strange glowing rock falling from space. 50 years ago, this asteroid hit Earth, Sarah explained. Inside, we found something impossible, something that changed everything. The map zoomed in on the rock. Inside was a strange, swirling energy. We called it the Omega particle, Sarah said. One tiny piece had more energy than 1,000,000 suns, and it didn't just give us power, it changed us. The map showed humans glowing, changing, growing. The Omega particle made us smarter, stronger. It let us do things we thought were impossible, Sarah said. In just 50 years, we went from fighting on the ground to building galaxies in jars. Krog, the shapeshifter, spoke up. Galaxies in jars? You're joking, right? Sarah smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. I wish I was, she said. She clapped her hands, and a small jar appeared on the table. Inside, a tiny galaxy spun. The aliens gasped. Sen reached out to touch the jar, but Sarah stopped him. Don't, she warned. It's not just a model. It's real. Millions of worlds, billions of lives, all in a jar on my desk. The aliens pulled back, scared. They were starting to understand Sarah's warning. But that's not the scary part, Sarah said. Her voice got very serious. The scary part is what the Omega particle showed us about the universe. She waved her hand, and the map changed again. It showed the whole universe, full of galaxies. We learned that we're not alone, Sarah said. There are other races out there with Omega particles, races that make us look like cavemen. The map zoomed in on a strange, dark part of space. It looked empty, but somehow wrong. And some of them, Sarah whispered, are not friendly. The aliens looked at each other. They felt cold and scared. So you see, Sarah said, that's why we can't join your Galactic Council. We're preparing for a war bigger than anything you can imagine. Zira's wings fluttered nervously. But we could help, she said. The Council has many races, many ships. Sarah shook her head. Your ships would be like paper boats in a hurricane, she said. Your weapons would be like sticks against a star. We've seen what's coming. It would destroy you all. Grok, who had been quiet, suddenly asked, then why warn us? Why not just let us go? Sarah smiled. This time, it was a kind smile. Because we were like you once, she said. Young, excited about the universe. We don't want to see you destroyed. She stood up and walked to the door. So now you have a choice, she said. You can run. Go back to your council. Tell them to hide, to stay quiet. Maybe you'll survive what's coming. The aliens stood up too, shaking a little. Or, Sarah said, her eyes shining, you can stay. Learn from us. Help us fight. It will be dangerous. Many of us will die. But if we win, we'll save not just our galaxy, but all galaxies. She opened the door. Outside, they could see Earth, beautiful and powerful. The choice is yours, Sarah said. Run and hide or stay and fight. What will it be? The 5 aliens looked at each other. They had come to invite humans to join their council. Now, humans were inviting them to join something much bigger, much scarier. Zira spoke for all of them. We need to think, she said. This is big, too big to decide right now. Sarah nodded. I understand, she said. Take the night to think. Tomorrow, you'll give us your answer. And remember, she added as they walked out, no matter what you choose, the universe is about to change. The only question is, will you change with it? As the door closed behind them, the 5 aliens felt the weight of the universe on their shoulders. They had a big decision to make, a decision that would affect not just their lives, but the lives of every being in the galaxy. Run or stay, hide or fight. As they walked to their rooms, those questions echoed in their minds. Tomorrow, they would have to answer. And their answer would change everything. The revelation. The 5 aliens didn't sleep well that night. They tossed and turned in their soft earth beds, thinking about Sarah's words. Run or stay, hide or fight. The questions kept spinning in their heads like a crazy dance. When morning came, they met in a small room. They looked tired and worried. Zira, the winged alien, spoke first. What should we do? She asked, her voice shaking a little. Grok, the big rock alien, punched the wall. It left a big dent. I say we fight. He growled. We're not cowards. Sen, the big-brained alien, shook his head. But you heard Sarah. Our weapons are like sticks against stars. How can we fight? Lumi, the light alien, glowed a soft pink. Maybe we should run, she said quietly. We could warn the council. Keep our people safe. They all looked at Krog, the shapeshifter. He had been quiet all night. I don't know, he said. Both choices seemed scary. Just then, there was a knock on the door. It opened, and Sarah walked in. She looked serious. Have you decided? She asked. The aliens looked at each other. They hadn't decided anything. Sarah saw their confused faces and smiled a little. "It's okay," she said. "I know it's a big choice. How about I show you something first? It might help you decide." The aliens nodded. They were curious and a little scared. Sarah led them to a big elevator. It went down, down, down. It felt like they were going to the center of the earth. When the doors opened, the aliens gasped. They were in a huge room, bigger than anything they had ever seen. It was full of strange machines, glowing lights, and hundreds of humans working. "Welcome," Sarah said, "to Omega Control." She walked them through the room. There were screens showing distant galaxies, strange swirling energies, and maps of things the aliens couldn't understand. "This is where we watch the universe," Sarah explained, "where we look for threats and plan our defense." Suddenly, alarms started blaring. Red lights flashed everywhere. Humans started running around, shouting things the aliens didn't understand. "What's happening?" Zira asked, her wings fluttering in fear. Sarah's face got very serious. "It's starting," she said. "The war we've been preparing for. It's here." She pointed to a big screen. It showed a dark, empty part of space. But as they watched, something appeared. It was huge, bigger than any ship the aliens had ever seen. It was black and spiky, like a giant, angry hedgehog. "That," Sarah said, "is the enemy. We call them the Devourers. They don't talk. They don't negotiate. They just destroy." The aliens watched in horror as the giant ship shot a beam of dark energy. It hit a nearby star, and the star just disappeared, like it had never been there. "They eat stars," Sarah said, "whole galaxies, and they're headed this way." Grok's rocky jaw dropped. How do we stop that?" he asked. Sarah smiled, but it wasn't a happy smile. It was the smile of someone ready for a big fight. "With this," she said. She pressed a button, and the floor opened up. From below, a strange machine rose up. It was glowing with the same energy they had seen in the Omega particle. "This is the Omega cannon," Sarah said. "The most powerful weapon ever built. It can reshape reality itself." The aliens stared at the cannon. It hummed with power, making the air feel thick and heavy. "But," Sarah said, "it has a problem. It needs a special kind of energy to work. Energy we can only get from your part of the galaxy." The aliens looked at her in surprise. "That's why we need you," Sarah continued. "You know those space. You can help us get what we need to power the cannon. To save everyone." Sen's big brain was working fast. "So that's why you warned us," he said. "You need our help." Sarah nodded. "Yes. But it's more than that. We've seen futures where we fight alone. We always lose. But futures where we fight together. Sometimes we win." She looked each alien in the eye. "So now you know everything. The threat we face. The weapon we have. The help we need. What's your choice?" The aliens looked at each other. They thought about their homes, their families, their whole galaxy. They thought about the Devourers, eating stars like snacks. They thought about the humans, fighting a war to save everyone. Zira stepped forward. Her voice was shaky, but strong. "We'll help," she said. "We'll fight with you." The other aliens nodded. Even Lumi, who had wanted to run, stood tall and glowed bright with determination. Sarah smiled. This time, it was a real happy smile. "Thank you," she said. "Together, we have a chance." Just then, a human ran up to them. He looked scared. "Sir," he said to Sarah, "the Devourers. They've changed course. They're heading straight for Earth." Sarah's smile disappeared. She turned to the aliens, her eyes hard and serious. "Looks like class is over," she said. "It's time for the real test. Are you ready?" The aliens stood up straight. They were scared, yes, but they were also excited. They had come to Earth thinking they were the teachers. Now they were students, learning to fight for the whole universe. Grok cracked his rocky knuckles. Let's show these devourers what the galaxy can do when it works together, he said. As alarms blared and humans ran to battle stations, the 5 aliens from the Galactic Council prepared for a fight they never expected. A fight for their lives, their galaxies, and the future of everything. The Omega cannon hummed louder. The screen showed the devourer ship getting closer. And in the middle of it all, 5 scared but brave aliens stood with their new human allies, ready to face whatever came next. The real war was about to begin. The aftermath. Alarms screamed through the Omega control room. Humans ran back and forth, shouting orders and pressing buttons. In the middle of all this chaos stood Sarah and the 5 aliens from the Galactic Council. "We don't have much time," Sarah said, her voice calm but urgent. "The devourers will be here in 1 hour. We need to power up the Omega cannon now." Sen, the big-brained alien, stepped forward. "What do you need us to do?" he asked. Sarah pointed to 5 strange-looking chairs. They were glowing with the same energy as the Omega particle. "We need your unique energies," she explained. "Each of you is different. Together, you can help us make the cannon strong enough." The aliens looked at each other. They were scared, but they knew they had to be brave. Zira fluttered her wings nervously. "Will it hurt?" she asked. Sarah smiled kindly. "I won't lie. It might be uncomfortable, but it won't harm you." Grok, the big rock alien, stomped to a chair. "Let's do this," he growled. One by one, the aliens sat in the chairs. Humans attached wires and put helmets on their heads. The chairs started to glow brighter. Suddenly, the aliens felt a strange tingling. It was like their whole bodies were buzzing. They could feel energy flowing out of them, into the machines. On a big screen, they could see the devourer ship getting closer. It was huge, like a dark cloud eating up the stars as it came. Energy levels rising. A human scientist called out, 70%, 80%, 90%. Sarah watched the numbers, her face tense. "We need 100%, she said. "Just a little more." The aliens felt tired. The energy drain was hard on them. But they didn't give up. They thought about their homes, their families, all the people counting on them. 95%, 97%, 99%, the scientist called. Suddenly, Krog the shapeshifter cried out. He was glowing so bright they could hardly see him. "I can do more," he shouted. His body started to change, taking on parts of all the other aliens. 100%, the scientist yelled. Omega cannon at full power. Sarah jumped to a big control panel. Firing in 3, 2, 1. A beam of pure white light shot out from Earth. It was so bright that for a moment, it looked like there were 2 suns in the sky. The beam hit the devourer ship head-on. For a second, nothing happened. The aliens held their breath. Had it worked? Then, slowly, cracks of white light appeared on the devourer ship. The cracks grew bigger and bigger. And then, boom! The devourer ship exploded in a flash of light so bright that everyone had to cover their eyes. When they could see again, the ship was gone. Where it had been, there was now a beautiful cloud of colorful stars. The room was quiet for a moment. Then everyone started cheering. Humans hugged each other. Some were crying with joy. The aliens fell out of their chairs, exhausted but happy. They had done it. They had saved Earth, their own galaxies, and maybe the whole universe. Sarah helped them up, smiling bigger than they had ever seen. "Thank you," she said. "We couldn't have done it without you." But their celebration was cut short. Another alarm started beeping. "What now?" Lumi asked, her light flickering with worry. A human ran up to Sarah with a report. She read it, and her face turned serious again. "The good news is we destroyed the biggest devourer ship," she said. "The bad news is there are more coming. Smaller ones, but still dangerous." The aliens looked at each other. They were tired, but they knew the fight wasn't over. Zira spoke up. What if? What if we took this technology back to the Galactic Council? She suggested. We could build more Omega cannons, protect more planets. Sarah thought for a moment, then nodded. That's a great idea, she said. We'll need all the help we can get for what's coming. Over the next few days, humans and aliens worked together. They made plans, shared technology, and prepared for the bigger war to come. When it was time for the aliens to leave, they felt different. They had come to Earth thinking they were powerful. Now they knew they were just a small part of a big universe. But they also knew that together, they could do amazing things. Sarah walked them to their ship. Remember, she said, Earth will always be your ally now. When you need help, call us. The aliens nodded. They were sad to leave their new friends, but excited to share what they had learned with the Galactic Council. As their ship took off, they looked down at Earth. It looked small and blue, peaceful from up here. But they knew it was full of brave, smart people ready to fight for the whole universe. Sen turned to his friends. You know what he said, when we first came here. Sarah told us to run. Grok nodded. I remember. She said it was for our own safety. But now I understand. Sen continued. She didn't mean run away from Earth. She meant run towards it. Run to join them. To fight with them. The others thought about this. It made sense now. As their ship entered deep space, they saw something amazing. Hundreds of ships from all over the galaxy were heading towards Earth. News had spread fast. The whole galaxy was coming together to join the fight. Zira looked at her friends. So, she said with a smile, are you ready to help save the universe? They all nodded. They were scared, yes. The fight ahead would be hard. But they were also excited. They had found new allies, new technology, and a new purpose. As they flew towards home, ready to spread the word and prepare for the big war, they knew one thing for sure. The universe would never be the same again. And neither would they. The Galactic Council was about to get a very surprising report, and a very big wake-up call. The story of Earth and the Omega particle was just beginning, but it was already changing everything. As their ship disappeared into the stars, the 5 aliens knew they were part of something bigger than they had ever imagined. They were no longer just members of the Galactic Council. They were defenders of the universe, and with Earth by their side, they were ready for whatever came next. The end, or perhaps just the beginning.